What's up, everyone? This is Adam and Will from PlayStation Universe giving you our continued E3 coverage. We have just left Devolver Digital's publishing foray of some pretty interesting titles, and one of which we both saw was Shadow Warrior 2. What do you think?
Well, first impressions was that it was an Asian Duke Nukem.
Effectively, yes, it was.
With samurai swords and guns blazing and demons coming out of the ground.
With the fall of Duke Nukem, we have somebody, at least, we have Wang, take up the mantle, thankfully, with his cheesy one-liners, his frenetic, aggressive gameplay, and just no thrills, just absolute going for it.
And you can do it with up to 4 people, which is a really cool thing. And it doesn't have to be 4, up to 4 was a clear differentiation.
Exactly, and as well, there isn't a big focus on that co-op. Like you're not shoehorned into like, oh, your buddy's gone down the road, you have to follow him. You literally can be running around a relatively open vertical map section of the game, and you can just happen across somebody who you know is in the game, but you didn't have to naturally see. And like they may call out for help if maybe they're on a headset or whatever, but it's never shoehorned into you. It's never an intrinsic point of the game, which is good.
It was just it looked like a seamless multiplayer experience where there wasn't any kind of loading screen or anything like that. They just kind of appeared in the world, and you and your friends could play together at your own pace. It was just exactly like what you're saying. And the other thing that they focused on a lot in that title is that there's almost infinite replayability value to each level, because each level contains the same path sets to get from point A to point B, essentially for roads. But the rest of the level is completely procedurally generated.
With one important caveat,
which is that they handcrafted every single object you see and every environmental set piece that you see in that game by hand. So they made everything by themselves to make sure that it worked perfectly together, so there were no hiccups or glitches that happened while it did that process.
So you will get a random, you will go into it with a random generation of objects, but it will work from a fundamental level because it's been designed by proper level designers. It's not just a computer going through the motions and adding things, through a program. It has been crafted, which will make the experience a lot better, a lot more seamless.
It looked like it just looked beautiful too. That was the other thing that I was
taken aback by
extremely surprised by. It was just how good it actually looked.
Yeah, for a game that's going to come out probably mid next year, it looked incredibly polished.
And a fraction of the size of a lot of the big AAA developers that we're seeing right now.
It looked incredible. The lighting was superb. The level design, and the dynamic weather as well. At the end when they showed the separate trailer of just showing the different weather aspects and stuff, it looked absolutely stunning. I was really taken aback, but I didn't expect that.
No. Another key point for the game to add for its replayability and the options that you could have when you're playing is the power-ups that are available for the different weapons, which to me, they told me that they had over 70 different weapons in the entire game, which you can...
A lot of ass-kicking to be done.
Yeah, a lot of ass-kicking to be done. But then, when they were explaining to me, I said to them, maybe it's just the PlayStation conference and seeing the reveals, but to me it sounded like the materia system in Final Fantasy VII, where you keep all of the power-ups that you pick up from enemies that you kill throughout the game, and you can insert them freely and exchange them freely from each weapon, from weapon to weapon, which could be as simple as you pick the pistol that you like, now you can hold 2 of them. Or the bow that I saw, the guy had a bow and he picked up an ice damage power up,
close enough.
And he got his bow now did frost damage to enemies.
Exactly.
Could slow them down and then freeze them and shatter them.
And as well, instead of even just from a gameplay point of view, it was frenetic. It was smooth. It was smooth. It was kick-ass, but as well in an idea of how to it's not going to be interrupted by the narrative and the story. We were told it's true, NPCs and stuff. Kind of you're gathering the story yourself. It's not shoehorned in to the experience, so it never really interrupts the gameplay too much with needless cutscenes and stuff.
And the one for the example of the NPC we saw, it wasn't somebody who just blatantly ran up to you. It was some wounded soldier just kind of on the ground.
Who, of course, had an arrow in the knee.
I was waiting for that quip.
We mentioned it to them. They knew.
He's just laying there, and then he mentioned that the village is being attacked, and then he moved on, and that's how you build the world off of that in terms of the storytelling, I thought it was a cool tool that they used for that, to not have to have a lot of cutscenes loaded in.
No, exactly. So it's still very early in development. From what we've seen, I think you will agree it's an incredibly polished title. I think it's one to definitely keep our eye out on.
I was completely surprised.
Yeah. So thumbs up from us, 100%. So I think they said probably around June, July. So it's going to take a while, but from what we've seen, it's definitely one to definitely keep your eye on. So,
for sure.
As ever, stay tuned to PSU for continued coverage of E3 this week. We're going to be here till early Friday morning, and then with more previews and stuff to follow and interviews as we get them. So, thanks, guys.
It on.